is Christmas the same for you? You know, I remember in my 20s and 30s, Christmas was really, I mean, it was just, I was really excited for Christmas every year. And I don't know, the last 2 Christmases, I guess not. Maybe it's just this Christmas. I feel kind of out of step with it.
Really?
Yeah.
I do feel a little out of step with the season, but I'm pretty excited about it. I mean, now I also have young kids, 9 and 10, so they're in like peak Christmas years, which is really fun. But you've been doing this for a while. I mean, I remember when you...
My whole life.
I remember you had this one Christmas, I think it was like the first time that, there was any success with the show, and then you bought like everyone you knew ridiculous Christmas presents.
Oh my gosh.
And then the next year you're like, I have too much consumerism, and you bought no one, like your kids got like
I've swung both
a leaf
ways,
of lettuce.
if you will. Yeah. I mean, I will tell you, because it was the first year that ever in my life I had money. And I was like, I'm going to buy everybody everything I've ever wanted to buy. And just gave extravagant gifts to everybody. It was the most shallow Christmas I had ever had.
Yeah, you hated it.
I hated it. It was, and I think the family would agree that was an empty Christmas. And I mean, the boxes were stacked around the trees, and we were going to people's houses and giving them stuff. And it was so empty. It was so empty. The only things that were good were the things where we were giving them outside of the house, and they were the littler things.
Yeah, no, I mean, you could definitely overdo it. I'm going back and forth with my wife right now in this thing where she wants to give less stuff to the kids. Like basically, okay, we don't need to get them 9 million things. They open them up, they play with them for a day, they never look at them again. And of course, all of these points are accurate, right? Like they do this, they do open them up, they do get excited for 5 minutes, they do put them down and then never look at them again. Like that's actually a real thing.
It is.
And she's much more worried about like, clutter around the house that I am, right? Like, I don't care. Like, so what? They put stuff in their closet and don't look at it for a while, and it doesn't bother me, but it bothers her. So she's like, well, we should buy less stuff. And then on the other hand, I'm like, well, I don't know. Like, they're in peak Christmas year one time, and they're going to get incredibly excited over every little thing we give them one little period of 5 years, and then it's over. And then, like, they look at it and they go, oh, thanks. And then they go out with their friends. Like, I don't know. I feel like I want to embrace every little bit of it, And if I see something I want to get the kids, I'm going to get it for them if I can afford it.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I remember when we first met, I was just broke as hell. I mean, I think you made more money than I did.
Oh, no. I can assure you that has never been the case since we've known each other.
No,
However, I will
say...
took
home more money.
Well, you had some external payments I did not have at that time.
Yes,
I will say that, yes.
Little remarkable. But, I remember I just couldn't afford anything. And it was horrible because I felt like a failure as a dad and as a parent. And I couldn't buy a little thing from CVS even that year that Mary really wanted. Yeah. And, oh my gosh, that ate at me and ate at me and ate at me. And, we're entering a time again where more and more people are feeling this kind of a pinch. Don't buy into that. Don't buy into any of that crap.
Yeah.
All your kids really want is time.
That's what they'll remember, right? They're not going to remember the extra little gift you give them.
Nope.
But they will remember, we try to we load up on these like little Christmas traditions. We go to this place, we go to this place, we go to this festival. We do like all of it. And at times it does get a little overwhelming because you've got 4 things scheduled in one day and you're running around. It's like, is this fun? I don't know. But it is, I think, important. And, you don't have to do every little thing. You don't have to go, to every festival to have memories like that. But I think those traditions are super important.
I used to put the lights up on our house with my dad every year, and I hated it. And it was always cold, and he would never let me on the ladder. And I had to hold it, and if it would have fallen, it would have crushed me.
What would you have done, right?
Yeah. I just always hated it. I remember it, but I hated it. And now it's just a good memory. It's, we used to do these things and I hated it at the time, but I think I think some of those things that you do, again, it was just because we did it together that I remember it. Like I don't remember, I hated mowing the lawn. I don't remember thinking now back fondly on my times of mowing the lawn. You know what I mean? This was a chore we did every Christmas, but I did it with my dad. And there's something to that. We get a live Christmas tree, and every year now, because Rafe's old enough and big enough, we go out, we pick it out, and he chops it down, and we bring it in, and I think that's cool. A great memory. Our best Christmas memory was actually one of our worst Christmases. We went up to the ranch, and everything that could go wrong did go wrong. We went out to this Christmas tree lot, and where you cut it down yourself, and my car, because this is the time when we were still driving just the armored car, we drove it onto a farm, and it sank. And
armored cars aren't really supposed to be at farms.
No, and so we had to have somebody come tow us out, and then we put the Christmas tree. We wrapped it all up. We were all cold. Everybody was, not in a good mood. We get onto this highway, and the car breaks down. Okay, so somebody comes with a truck and says, the guy who runs our farm came with his truck, and he said, "You do this. You just get the family into the truck, or take the tree and Rafe and the kids in the truck, and I'll bring the family home behind you, and somebody will wait for a tow truck." So we go, and I'm going home, and we're talking about how miserable this is. We didn't pay attention. The tree blows out of the truck. And then this car starts flashing its lights at us and speeding up and tailgating. And, we were still from New York at the time. And I'm like, what the hell is this? What are they doing?
Right.
Not used to people just being nice and saying, hey, your tree blew out. We get almost to the house, and I don't want this person to know where we live. So I just stop and pull over. And he pulls over, and he's like, hey, I've been trying to catch up. You 10 miles back, your tree blew out. And I'm like, oh, crap. Oh, crap. We now look at that tree cutting day as the best tree cutting day we ever had as a family. Yeah.
Yeah. That is always how it works out, I feel like. You have those memories you think are going to be, it's the ones you plan, they never work out. But the ones where everything gets screwed up, kids remember that.
It's why we like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yeah. That sounds like a sequel to it, what you just described.
It almost was.